Hey Gemini, it's Kay Loves Tarot. Right then, let's get stuck into November reads. I'm doing this as a monthly, you guys, so I'm going to be using more cards. We're going to do a 12 card spread, and these are for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Gemini for the month of November 2019. Gemini. Right then, I will go back to normal next month in December. Just had a little bit of time off, which I'll explain a bit later when I do Monday Fun Day. That one flew out. 7 of Wands reversed. Right. Ready? Let's get stuck in for the Geminis. So, 6 Pentacles, the 5 of Cups. Make sure you guys can see that. The 6 of Wands reversed. The 4 of Wands reversed. And the Sun reversed. The High Priestess, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles, the 3 of Wands, 4 of Swords reversed, and 7 of Pentacles. So, to be fair, we could look at this in a few different ways. So we could look at this as week by week throughout the month of November. These energies you may already be feeling now. The top row really is what's crowning, what's on your mind. The middle row is the reality around you, and the bottom row is explanation, reason why. Let's get stuck in. So, around the first half of November, we're totally giving up on something here, okay? Maybe you felt like people are coming at you from all angles, or situations or circumstances just keep coming at you from all angles, and it's not leaving you alone. It's not getting any better. A lot of repetitive situations going on. And, you know, the reality around you is you're trying to balance shit out. You're trying to get what you deserve out of life, or love even. And we're having none of it. But the reason why we're giving up is because we're crying over spilt milk a little bit. So maybe you're giving up on something that would otherwise pan out for the better a bit later on. So you could be acting too quickly here. Coming further, towards the middle of November here, I've got what's crowning is 6 swords in the reverse. So we're desperate to get out of dramatic situations. You guys have totally had enough. You're exasperated. And, the reality around you is a lot of instability, especially around the home. So some of you, you're having to sort of build home after broken relationships, or you're trying to move to get away from something or someone. Some of you are moving for work because you've got better prospects elsewhere. Some of you want to, and it's just not happening. And maybe it's a bad time of the year. I mean, we do have Christmas coming up, so... and I suppose the reason why the Sun being there is because you just don't know. We're so exasperated. We just don't know what to do for the best. We want that will to get out of these dramatic situations that you keep having to give up on and walk away from is doing your fucking head in. There's too much instability. Something's got to give. I just feel a lot of Gemini energy at the moment, like something has got to give. What can I change, or does this completely lie in the hands of fate? And if this is personal relationships, some of you are dealing with someone here who you've tried to give up time and time again, and you just can't bring yourself to do it. But, like I say, moving forward, nothing changes. And that's why there is this exasperation sort of around the second week coming into the middle of November, because you realise you have to get out. You just don't know how. You will figure it out, Gemini. You will. So moving on, we've got, the High Priestess in the crowning position. And this is intuition. This is something pinging in your intuition that's telling you something here. This one definitely needs clarifying. And the reality around you is we're trying to fix things. We're trying to master new skills and learn from the past to make sure that mistakes aren't made in the future. And the reason why is because we've not been motivated up to press. We just haven't been motivated. That 8 of Pentacles is reversed. There's not enough hard work and effort going in. That's why we have to go back to the drawing board. So let me just quickly clarify the High Priestess now. What's Gemini's intuition pinging for? Alright, some of you doing weird earth sign, or this is money. Maybe you figured out a new way for stability to correct things, or we're now more focused and your intuition sort of pointing you in the direction to better the situation. But again, there was still this clarity of we don't quite know how. You're coming up with ideas. This is ideas. And this is actually going back to the drawing board and saying, right, this needs doing, so how do we do it? So for example, if you're trying to move, your intuition may lead you to put more focus on a house hunt where you may find something. You know, the High Priestess, she's very fated. Absolutely very fated. You know, and maybe the Three of Pentacles is you sort of finding brand new websites. You know, it's updating skills and whatnot, and it's finding new ways to deal with something. You may decide to change estate agents if you're trying to sell. Things like that. You know, and I see a lot of focus on money as well. So you may be a bit more careful with your money that week because you know intuitively something's coming in. If it's for love, then again, you're more focused to get out of these bad situations because nothing's changed. So now, you know, you're sort of finding a new way to be on your own for some of you. Why? Because there hasn't been enough motivation in the past. So, you know, again, you're learning. You're definitely learning this month, Gemini. Moving on, we've got the Three of Wands in a crowning position. So this is that waiting period. Why are we still waiting? Why has nothing changed? Why are we still waiting? The reality is you've still got some shit to lay to rest from the past to completely get out of those situations. And, you know, the reason why a lot of patience is needed. So this is spiritual advice with the Seven of Pentacles. It's basically that need to be patient. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, especially. But then again, we could also argue that if you've been going through this with someone or a situation for a long time and nothing's still changed, maybe it is time to stop waiting for fate in the universe to hand you what you want. Sometimes self-motivation pays off, and that's why we have these two here. And I think that for a lot of you, especially when it comes to more sort of practical things like home and career and moving forward, the onus is on you to actually have the will to do it. Because if you don't, nothing's going to change. If you actually start taking steps and making that effort, Spirit's going to see this and think, oh, she's making effort. She must want to move on. She must want to get to this goal. So we'll help her. If you don't put in the motivation, Spirit's just going to be like, no, she doesn't want it. So we're not going to help her. For some of you, you need to learn the power of manifestation. Right, let me throw some Romance Angel cards on this to sort of get a more detailed glimpse in the love department. Alright, I've got two there. So I've got this could be the one, and I've got retreat. Makes total sense. One more, please, for Gemini. And I've got you deserve love, you are lovable. Absolutely. So, priorities. There we go. What did I say, Gems? What did I say? Unity. And trust. Now, listen, you in love, if you've recently had to separate yourself from someone here, or something that was tainting an already established relationship, so it could be bad habits, money habits, whatever, because there's a lot of money cards in this spread. Whatever it is, let's look in the context that if you're recently single, you genuinely thought this was the one. Whether it's recent or whether it's, you know, a year or two ago, you thought this was the one. And you were getting sick and tired of the lack of change. Things didn't change. And you didn't help that either. So this is where we sort of get the reality check. We have to retreat. If we want a clear, fresh, clean slate, fresh start, things have got to change. We have to unite back with ourselves and put priorities in order. And put priorities first, especially if children are involved. And then moving forward, you do deserve love and you are lovable. And you have to learn to trust again. And for some of you, these trust issues are going to be because somebody who you thought was the one truly did break your heart. And that's completely understandable that you would have trust issues. But that's why we need this retreat, because it's a healing period. It's getting back to basics, sorting priorities out, things that have slipped, getting back in touch with friends that we may have, you know, not intentionally, but it does happen, that are pushed to the wayside, you know, while we're too focused on a bad toxic relationship. It does happen. So again, this is that retreat from love as a whole, so that we can learn to trust again, so that we can learn to be ourselves again. Because I think some of you may have lost yourselves a little bit. And this month is about getting back to you. You know, getting back to the person that you know you are deep down. Maybe you've become bitter. Maybe you've become very depressed. And you're just at the point where you're sick of it now, Gemini. You know, if you're already in a relationship and you know, it's not going to break up or anything like that, I think this is a bad habit that needs breaking, that you need to retreat from, or that you need to encourage a partner to retreat from, because it seems like someone's not putting effort into a relationship, that, you know, and this distrust may be creeping in. So you could nip that in the bud before it gets worse, and actually sort of put foot down. No more. I'm either going to get myself sorted out and not do this anymore, or this is you saying to a partner, you cannot do this anymore because I don't know if I trust you. And if you are the one that has bad habits that you know, is messing somebody around, the advice is, well, the reality is they're learning, they're not, you know, they're sort of growing to distrust you a little bit, and they're starting to question themselves. So be aware of that. But also the reality is they're not going to go anywhere if things change now. They deserve love, so do you. And you need to find a new way to love each other. So yeah, very, very dramatic kind of reading, and you know, if it resonates with a few of you, then I hope the advice really does help. If it doesn't, you know, no need to sort of moan in my comments. Just check out, you know, you Moon or your Rising, or see if another reader on YouTube has the right messages for you this time. I'm going to leave that there for now, Gemini. If anyone wants personal reading, my email's at the bottom of the screen. I am here to help, especially through difficult situations. I seldom do readings that end up being very, very, you know, rosy and happy. So I'm used to this. You're in good hands. I'll leave that there then, you guys, and I wish you guys all the best moving forward. Like I say, December, I'll be back to normal with the first half and second half. I'm only doing a monthly spread for this month because I just haven't had the time. Right. Take care. Bye for now.